What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You already know what this is. As you can see, we got a new background today, but I'm not getting ready to talk about that too much. We're gonna talk about this loss that we just gave up the draws on. So hey, come in.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Benediction Show. You already know who this is. This is your boy Ryan Walker, better known as a historian. I'm not gonna get too fine with the introductions because this was just one of these bad games, bad games. We posted the link in YouTube or whatnot. We're actually working on trying to get that link for you guys in Facebook as well, so you can jump in here and chime in. But before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing off before I start bringing folks in here. I'm gonna say this here. We literally pissed this game away. Let's call it for what it is. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's one of these things that was just off all the way around. And all I'm gonna say is this, man. Desmond Ritter, we've been riding with you for the longest, but dog, you got to take accountability for this. 3 interceptions in one game. This ain't gonna cut it, bro. Your days are numbered. You had one game last week where you looked like Superman, but you come out here, yeah, you throw 2 touchdowns or whatnot, but then you throw 3 interceptions, and 2 of those interceptions cost us, as well as you not having the mental fortitude to identify where that play clock was. We had way too many delayed games where you took us off the 3 yard line back to the 7, and then at the end of the game, we have a delayed game after you're slicing everybody up. This got to stop. This falls on you, and this falls on Arthur Smith. Let's just be honest, man. You have played majority of this season. At this point, you ain't a rookie no more, dog. You're a second-year quarterback, but here's the thing. Basic knowledge. You need to know where that clock is. You need to know what's happening with that. I'm not going to bring up numbers, but I'm definitely going to start this thing off. But I'm going to start bringing folks in, but I'm definitely going to get to these points that I have. So first, I got to bring in my right-hand man, Killer Killian K. Dub Worthy. You already know what the business is. And again, like I said at the beginning, please subscribe, like YouTube. You know what it is. We ain't finna get into all that today. We got people to bring in, and we got confessions to talk about right about now. I got to bring in the old man of the group, Mr. Graybeard himself. And then I've got to bring in Coach Cam, who joins us out in Arizona doing his thing. And then we got the Black Wall Street joining us today. He got some things he want to talk about today, but guess what? It's all good though. That's my guy too. But definitely, I'm smoking some boots today, so I'm letting you know I'm not being friendly today with it. So I love y'all boys, but we got to talk about this. It's starting to become a problem when you talk about Arthur Smith and you talking about not being able to not even if your quarterback doesn't see it, what you need to be doing, you need to be having some you need to have somebody on the sideline if you're not wise enough to pay attention to this play clock where you got somebody down by the referee that's their only job is, hey, you stay by the ref, I need you to watch the play clock since Ritter can't do it. Call a timeout. You had us literally on the 3-yard line with the go-ahead touchdown. Defense kept us in the game. I'm not mad at the defense today. Defense did what they were supposed to do. The offense cost us this game in one blown special teams coverage. That cost us the game in piss poor management. Point blank, period. Arthur Smith, you got to be on the hot seat, dog. I don't want to hear all this. Oh, it's his 3rd year and he's getting everything together. Nah, you're a former offensive coordinator. You're a guy that has to be accountable for this now. This is not good. You had 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 delay game calls on crucial situations in the 4th quarter. You got to take accountability. And speaking of accountability, I got to account for my dog, K Dub, to get up in here. And let's talk about it, K. Start this thing off, bro.
Man, and coming into this game, I mean, I wholeheartedly, I don't care what he did last weekend. I said, look, the man has never lost at home and blah, 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 the many game. So now that record is out the window. Now we revisit about a couple weeks ago, and your ass need to be back on the bench. Excuse me for the collection plate. I've got put in the jar.
You know what? Today is a day I got to tell the censor that's on this thing. You know what? Hey, I'm gonna say this here. You're gonna be mad at a lot of us today because it's coming out today. So you might as well just go ahead and bring it up a little bit later. So it is what it is. Keep going, bro.
But like you reiterated, the defense did a standard job, in my opinion. I mean, they're gonna give up some points, but they didn't give up enough. They didn't give up points to where you didn't have a chance to win the game multiple times. But your ineptitude, your up and down play, and it just too sporadic. We need a person that's going to be even keeled. So I just feel like we have a dilemma. We got a team that's ready to go to the playoffs, except for the quarterback. That's just what I see in my opinion right now in the week 6, week 7 that we were going to. So we have to figure out what we're going to do if we're going to go to the bench, if we're going to go try another person and go back to Ritter later, because I mean he still has some developing to do, but are we going to afford to let him develop on our watch right now and miss the playoffs because he can't seem to get it right week in and week out? You heard watching the game when Matt Ryan was calling the game, he was trying to be very sincere, but he really wanted to tell the truth. Like, man, this guy just ain't got it, man. But he has to be professional about it, and I know it breaks his heart that the Falcons can't get back straight again like when he was at the helm. So I just feel like, man, this game here, man, was a telltale sign. It doesn't get any easier on the road for Ritter, and the team that he's gonna face doesn't get any easier. So I just feel like we're in a dilemma. I mean, I feel like the money that we spent on the defense was well spent. The defense is not just giving up points left and right. They could have easily gave up even more points, but they stayed the course and made plays down the stretch. But the offense continued to keep failing them over and over again. The receivers made catches, but it's just like the quarterback has not taken that next step that we need him to take to take this offense and take this team to the playoffs.
Agreed.
Go ahead.
No, I said I know I wasn't stopping you. I'm saying I agree with you. Keep cooking because you definitely speaking on some stuff right now, family.
Hey, quick question: wasn't Arthur Smith a time management coordinator in Tennessee for 2 years?
Well,
yes, he was.
He freaking sucked.
No, serious question. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but I read that somewhere. Wasn't he a time management coordinator in Tennessee?
Yeah, he was. Oh. That's the bad part about it. You managed the clock in Tennessee. You're supposed to know this type of stuff. Your assistants are supposed to be on top of this. If you're not going to be the guy that's going to be doing it, your assistants need to be on top of this. Point blank, period.
I mean,
Everybody that's on that offensive side of the ball got to take some accountability for that. Point blank, period.
On that tier of things that we need to fix, I understand that Arthur Smith need to have better time management, but I feel like we had enough time. We had like 3 opportunities to damn score. We didn't. So,
well, I posted the link and here's the thing, I posted the link for everybody in Facebook and also on YouTube. So look, if y'all want to come in here and chop it up with us, please do. And as y'all notice, I ended up putting in the background, we have a new picture for the benediction. We have Freddie Falcon leaning against the confession booth about to lose his mind like most of us are doing right now. So it's what it is. We actually got a guest today. We actually got somebody getting ready to come in here, one of our regulars. We got Coach Terry McGriff sliding through the building today. But before we let Coach McGriff cook, we want to hear what the Black Wall Street has to say. Come on, Scoop. We've been waiting for this one.
Ooh, let me
so it's an accountability thing. And like I said, when I speak about Des Ridder, I think everybody wants to say, well, you need to quit defending them, but it ain't about defending them. It's the fact that he a second-year quarterback. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. We go down there and we supposed to get a go-ahead touchdown or at least tie the game up, right? We get bailed out by what it was, like a holding call or something that kept us like at the 3-yard line. Something that they did on defense, it reset the downs for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got, in my eyes, 4 downs at the 3-yard line to run the ball. Why are we not running the ball? Also, the interception in the back of the end zone, and I read Arthur Smith's lips saying just throw it in the back of the effing end zone. Well, if you wanted a fade route to Drake London, throw a fade route.
Thank you. That's where the accountability has to come in.
So again, I'm not absolving Dez for the mistakes that have been made, but damn, dog. Like, it's simple. You got 6'4", 6'5", tight end and wide receiver. If you're gonna call a fade, call a fade. It's really that simple. I'm a 5'7", 5'8" quarterback. If I got a 6'4" wide receiver, I'm not looking for no slant. I know he gonna go and chop on me.
Thank you. Thank you. That's just law. Think about it. That's law of physics. If you play like me and you, we're former DBs. We understand. We're not 6'1". I'm 5'9". You 5'8". You know what I'm saying? So let's just be real on that. When you got a guy that's 6'3", 6'4". Now, if you're playing corner on these guys, you got to be able to jump out of the gym. But at the end of the day, even if you can jump out of the gym, Dez can put that ball high enough to where these guys can use their height and their size to go get it. You know,
man, not just that, bro. Like I can jump too. I got long arms too. But if he's 6'4" and he can dunk with 2 hands, like Draco played basketball.
Thank you.
Come on, man, it's not that hard.
Let's get rid of it. Keep talking. Because guess what? You got Kyle Pitts who was cooking today. And I got to give Pitts his credit today. Pitts took off today. And the problem was this. He and Jonnu Smith literally was cooking today. Both of them dudes. And you go away from them. The only other guy that was consistent was Matt Hollins and Drake London. Your 4 big receivers that you had, you didn't use them. You didn't use them in a key situation. And you go for 2. You go for 2 early after you score. All you had to do is kick a field goal, and we score. We kick a field goal. We tight. Like, this is what I mean when I say common sense ain't so common, man. I'm
not even tripping on the aggressive play calling. I'm not even tripping on that. Because just like Kato said, you had 3 opportunities that at least tie the game. So I'm not even tripping on that. I'm tripping on the fact that if you at the 3-yard line, if you're not gonna run the ball 4 times, call the fade. I just mentioned on some of those groups. I just mentioned some of those groups. And Coach Grant, I get it. Like, you hate Des Ridder. I get it. Whatever. It doesn't even matter to me. At the end of the day, if I got some play, just start calling out the counter, and you execute the counter, that's damn near unstoppable. The thing against a smaller quarterback is unstoppable. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
It's the same thing I'm saying, bro. It's the same
All
thing
right,
I'm saying. We got
I'm
two
done, man.
understandings.
I'm done.
Now that's but now here's the thing. That's frustrating, bro. Because here's the thing. You and I, we go at it during the games and we talk about different things. Me and you both go at it. But the one thing we can agree on, piss poor play calling at the wrong time. When you have momentum, you have to use it. Let's be real. I don't. It's gonna hurt people to hear me say this, but I'm gonna say this before I let Coach McGriff get in this. The Braves did the same thing this week. The Falcons pretty much did what the Braves did, and it hurt to hear that. But let's be real. You have a chance to you steal a game from Philly when it was definitely theirs to have, and then you put yourself in the spot where you know what I'm saying. You put yourself in a spot where you don't take advantage of this. You pretty much give up the draws when your defense is giving you the ball three straight times. Three straight times they gave you the ball and gave you a chance. You literally peed down your leg today. Now we got a Facebook user saying it's not all Dez's fault. No, on that last drive, that was all on Dez. We ain't finna let you get away with that one, dog. I'm snapping on jokers today, so I'm letting you know you come in here with foolishness, you catch a smoke today if you don't have any common knowledge with what we saw today, because that was bad all the way around, ladies and gentlemen. So no excuses today. It was bad all the way around. Hey, what's going on, Coach? Go ahead and jump in here and talk about it.
Oh yeah, fellas, I gotta inhale real quick, man. I gotta exhale real quick. Take a deep breath. Whew. Ease out, man. Desmond, I'm blaming this on Desmond Ritter. I'm not blaming this. I'm not blaming this on Matt Collins. How? Why would you go for after? Because when Payne got hurt, we was right on first goal. We got a penalty call back for delay a game. So I'm like, damn, let's push this back even more. So that play when Desmond Ritter was trying to throw it at Drake London, he should have threw that ball out. He know better. Nobody was wide open. Drake London had the man was already on him, pushing by the bounce. You don't throw the ball to the DB right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Coach
up?
McGriff, what you got, man?
You ever heard that? There's a song called "The Same Old Song."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The same.
All around the world the game
The
come.
same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Digital
Go ahead.
Underground.
It's a who?
It, yeah. You
All
got
All right, just show
trees.
me when I got that.
You got trees. Yet you want to play small ball.
Mm.
You
Thank
got
you,
physical
man.
mismatches all over the place. Yet you choose not to use it because you want to run what you believe in,
All
and you
right, I'm
don't
waiting to
want
see
to take
I
advantage
got you.
of the talent that you have. So you one of them type of coaches that I call you're smashing nose despite your face.
Mm.
You just don't care enough to put your players in the best position. And it's going to come back before the end of the season. If you keep this, he's going to lose that locker room because you're going to have the guys start talking that he cares more about what he likes instead of what they do best and what's best for the
Exactly.
team.
Exactly. Demond, welcome to the cage, baby. I'm
So,
sorry, Coach, to cut you off. I had to bring in my guy just now.
okay, no problem.
We rotate. No, you Coach, you still cooking right now, but I had to welcome him in to make
Okay.
sure he knew. Y'all check out WeHawks TV. My guy Demond doing this thing right now, repping for the Hawks. He's Atlanta everything, baby. Demond. So I'm gonna let Coach finish cooking, and I'm gonna let you slide up in here, and then I'm gonna let Graybeard and Coach Cam have it. So, Coach, go ahead and finish up your spot because we're gonna keep you in here for a second.
Yeah. You got you. I felt that they was going to be able to take from last week's and build on it, and it
Mm.
looked like he got complacent. And well, the little bit that I saw on that, it was even some of the play calling. It was like he didn't have a decisive game plan going. Though, does everybody agree with that? He didn't.
Agreed.
He
Agreed.
didn't feel like he wanted to know what he wanted to do. But you had a blueprint of what would work for your young quarterback. People forget that's a second round pick. He's not a Trevor Lawrence, he ain't a Justin Fields. So there's limitations to his game. So
Coach.
you have to do what he does best. And you have to use it doesn't take a lot of talent to throw the ball up in the air and let your guys who've got the height advantage go get it. You don't need to be a pinpoint passer when you got guys who got long height and long arms and put it in their range. You know who I could tell you who used to do that? The Houston Texans used to do that when they had people like Johnson, and when they had what was his name?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Hopkins. Put it in the area where they can go make a play on the ball. You got a team where you got a whole bunch of guys. All you got to do is play 50-50 ball and keep yourself in games and give you a chance to win the ball game. In the end zone, everything need to be up near goalpost height. And fade routes where it goes either your guy get it or it goes out of bounds. You got guys with long legs who can't run quick slants. So why try it?
Thank you.
If you say you got a guy who got all this make you miss, put him out in space one-on-ones, put him in the flats on those balls like you did against Jacksonville. And then you put those guys out, spread them out, make everybody. Then you can throw it to your back out the backfield and have him make a guy miss one-on-one. But you did none of that stuff. And right now, I'll agree with most of the masses. It's about time for that man to get up out of there.
Demond, we're gonna let you cut up in there. We getting ready to let you cook right now. Hey, coach, I'm gonna make your point even. It's gonna sound even worse. Ritter's a 3rd round pick, so it ain't even a second. He's a 3rd. So yeah, so that's even worse. Now here's the thing: I gotta let Demond cook or whatnot because hey, Demond, go ahead and cook, man, because you know we can't sit there and BS about bad performances like that. That was just bad.
Yeah, I still support the young quarterback. He only 10 games in his career. But I need Arthur Smith out of here. To me, Arthur Smith is LP to Trey Young. He is Nate McMillan to Jalen Johnson. That's the development. Let me tell you something, man. I was watching NFL Network.
That's
right?
ugly.
I put that on Twitter, dog. Like it's embarrassing, bro. Listen. And let me tell you something, man. And I'm more of a basketball guy, right? But I follow football.
Oh, we get the analogy. We get the analogy.
That was pretty obvious.
I'm watching NFL Network, and these fools said that Arthur Smith. Now we got a young quarterback, 10 games in the NFL career. Arthur Smith talking about he's sending in 3 plays at a time, and then telling him to basically pick which play, and then they're telling him the reads. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, if I got a young rookie quarterback, to me, he's a rookie until he gets 17 games under his belt. To me, he's a rookie. So basically, you're giving Desmond Ridder control of the game, and he's a rookie. You should be controlling the game as the coach and the OC. You should be controlling it. Maybe send in 2 plays, but you should be telling him basically, hey, I need you to do A, B, C, and D. Also, telling him who should be open. Okay, I'm not the best football guy, right? But correct me if I'm wrong. A professional quarterback should be able to come out, look at the defense, and kind of get a guesstimate if they're in zone and man, and if they're in zone. He should be able to say, okay, they're in this type of zone, woo, woo, woo. At least get close to it, right?
Right.
So that tells me he should be able to come out and know what should be open depending on what zone, if they play zone, what zone they drop in.
They call zone plays. You know what routes beat those.
Right.
Why
am I telling my quarterback who should be open? To me, that's like playing Madden for the first time. Hey, A gonna be open, and would you hike it? You just hit A. You don't look nobody else open. You just gonna hit A. Hey, guess what, Ryan? A, when you hike it, A gonna be open. So you gonna hit A. You ain't even gonna think about it somewhere else.
Demond, and I'm gonna tell you like this: you don't have to be a football guy to tell the truth. And I'm gonna tell you just like this. You know what made Bill Walsh great? Now we're gonna talk about coaches that came through. You know what made Bill Walsh great? You know what made Mike Holmgren, those guys who were groomed in that great? They would talk to their young quarterbacks. Now Ritter's not a rookie, he's officially he's not a rookie, but he's doing rookie stuff, mistakes. Now let's be real on this. Bill Walsh, all these guys would tell their quarterbacks, hey, if you don't see this here, you throw it out of here. And most of them was telling these guys, hey, you call this play here, blah, 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 blah. This should be open. Your secondary should be here, blah, 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 blah. So he understands that he has options. Not like the dude is dumb. Now, I'm not saying he's dumb, but what he did today, when he put the ball in harm's way, because he looked like a deer caught in the headlights. It's like,
but you know what?
this,
You know what's so funny, Ryan? You know what's so funny? Let me tell you what's funny. First of all, him coming and screaming at Arthur Smith, that's telling me a lot right there. When that play came in late and he was walking, he was yelling at the coach.
Let me
Now,
ask you something. Hold on a second. Stop. I've listened to all this crazy now. What do you? At some point in time, if I'm out there and I'm the guy and I see the play clocks running down, I'm either calling my own play or calling timeout.
where
Period.
he don't. That's if you have the authority. He don't have the authority to do what he want to do.
Time out right there. Who's
Hey,
going?
we got Coach, we said the same thing in the Super Bowl.
Wait. Y'all gotta let Coach. Hold on, everybody had a chance. Wait a minute.
Yo,
Hold up.
Let me make.
Go ahead, let Coach get this one, dog. You can jump back on it.
I'm talking about the first.
Let me
time
make my
down.
point, and then I'll be quiet.
I'm talking about
right?
throwing it in the end zone right there.
Okay,
because
listen.
the play clock's running down.
I was
Call
making
timeout.
I'm making a point. Okay, I'm not saying the interception he threw was horrible, but
all three of them
those
were
last
on him.
two,
Nobody
two,
threw the ball.
the
but
ones
him.
he threw
He
where they
made
jumped the
decisions.
route, those the way he threw where he jumped when they jumped that route, not the one in the end zone, but the slant he threw coming out.
Who threw the ball? Who put it there?
We know who threw the ball, bro. I'm not stupid. I'm trying to make the point. If you let me make the point, let me make the point. What I'm saying is this: I find it ironic that those two interceptions that he threw, he didn't look nowhere else.
Who's that?
He looked nowhere else, and
He's
just
been
let
doing
it
that
go.
his whole career. What do you expect? Anything different?
Well, let me tell you something.
I mean,
that's your point. Hold up. If that's your point, then I'm gonna need Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith to be fired because they should have known this last year. They see him in practice all the time. And if y'all want to come with all these excuses, if y'all want to come with these reasons of why he isn't good, they should have figured this out last year. They see him in practice. They had 4 games with him in the NFL, and you telling me, well. He making these mistakes. Well, if he making these mistakes and they cannot be corrected, they should be fired because he got to be making the same mistakes in practice.
Well, Demond, I've been saying this for the longest. Now, here's the thing. Now, you sitting here pointing out the obvious, and I've been saying this since day one. I said, hands down, I said, if this does not work, it's going to be because of the fact that Arthur Smith had a chance to get a good offensive coordinator in for number one and a quarterback coach to help this kid out. And the problem that has been is Arthur Smith doesn't want anybody challenging his authority, which is a problem. That is a problem.
But hold on, Ryan. Name me one second-year quarterback that don't make mistakes.
Sam Howell didn't turn the ball over 3 times today.
You went away from what I'm talking about.
He don't throw interceptions. He has.
I'm talking about at the top.
It don't matter.
Hold on.
So it don't wait. Hold on.
You asked me a question. You said name a Hold on. You said name a second-year quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over and make bad decisions. Sam Howell didn't do it today, did he?
Today.
Which game did we play today?
We're speaking on today. We ain't speaking on last week. We said today.
Okay, bet. So we talk next week. He don't have no interceptions. Then we talk about what?
I've been saying
because the start of the season, he didn't have no turnovers.
Desmond Ridder is not ready to be an NFL quarterback.
Well,
I've been saying it.
Then somebody needs to be fired.
Let me jump in, gentlemen. Here's what the outsider sees on this. When you drafted this kid, you knew what based on your film watching, what he was good at. Mm-hmm. And you always call this thing when it don't work, you put a square peg in a round hole. They haven't. If this is the guy you choose that you're going to build your offense around, then you need to go back and look and see what he does well.
Thank you.
And incorporate that into the offense instead of trying to make him do what you know and only what you you know. That's what it says to me.
Coach McGriff. Let me ask you a question though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's everybody take all their emotions out of it. And this is 100% real. It's a funny thing to me that Desmond Ridder can take us up and down the field, and then we get to crucial points, then he makes a bad decision, and it costs us. Right or wrong?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
a combination. Yeah,
That's what I'm getting at. So he's not
big-
ready. He's not ready. If he can't make that decision to call a timeout and look at the play clock several times, and then he keeps continually staring down people. He did it in London. He threw 2 pick sixes. He did it today. He threw 3.
Because
Well, I mean, when
they're
does it stop?
they're
When
telling
does
him
it
to
stop?
throw the ball.
You also have to understand that he's not the guy that he can make those type of decisions right now. Everything is running
High
through
school
Arthur
quarterbacks
Smith,
can
bro.
use their eyes.
Yeah, right.
And
And here goes back. Herein lies the
Arthur
problem.
Smith calls the timeouts, not Dad.
If you're starting
if I'm
quarterback,
out there, I'm calling timeout. Period. What are you
yeah,
gonna
if
do?
you're
Beat me?
starting, if your starting quarterback cannot call a timeout,
Exactly.
there is a problem in the coaching.
Exactly.
There's a problem if that quarterback sees in a critical situation, especially on third and manageable, and you're in scoring position, and you clock is running down, and he can't call a timeout. There's something wrong with your staff.
Yeah, a couple of
Because
Let's talk about
that-
the
that's-
intentional
that's-
grounding
that's-
and stuff too. Throw the ball away. When you
Points
throw it
coming
to your wife up in
He
the
was
third
trying
row.
to.
No,
He was
come
he
on,
was
man.
he was
He
trying. Come
ran
on,
for
come
10 minutes before he threw it. You
Oh, my
see it's
God.
coming. No, when
They
they're
was-
coming
they
down,
was
you
on
throw
him.
the ball away. Do you, Coach McGree? If you understand what I'm saying, do you not
Yeah.
agree? He holds the ball.
Yeah.
He holds the ball. Matt
And-
Ryan
but-
even
but-
said
but-
today, he said he's
but-
got to get rid of it.
But it
You talking
goes
about-
back to what I'm saying. They
Yeah.
don't put him on when you're scheming the game plan up. Look at this. Look at how the game was called this week compared to last.
Exactly. Thank you.
The situations, and it's not necessarily, you can't say the defense dictated to this. You can dictate to the defense via formation what you going on, unless you had a significant amount of people that you trust in the offense out of that game for injury, or
All I'm getting at is if you're an NFL quarterback and you have started 8 or 9 games, if you can't make a 2 or 3 progression read, your hind end needs to be sitting over there on the bench. You need to be taking tickets up and charting plays. I'm sorry. I've had kids
and
in high school that can do
I
that
agree
all
with
day long.
I agree with that on coach. But if they pick this guy and they're gonna roll with it, it's something going on that they're not telling the rest of the fan base and stuff like that, because you got a veteran guy back there that has played some ball. And
but Coach McGriff, let me ask you this: is he right or wrong? Is he not putting the ball in harm's way?
Yeah, he's putting the ball in harm's way. Like Ryan, he's not consistent. Well, part of that inconsistency, give you example. Everybody look at Trevor Lawrence when we had that dumpster fire his first year. He looked like straight hot garbage because he was not put in the position to do what he does best. Now you got a guy in this situation doing the same exact thing with a quarterback. One game, you put him in position, he flourishes. The things look like he might be turning the corner. You go back to 2 weeks ago and you do almost the same identical game plan that you did this week that you did against the Jags. And the kid only knows how to play this game play. So when you give him a complicated read, he's going to default to reading going to the guy who he trusts the most, and he's going to stare him down. Which
means he's not ready and doesn't need to be there.
No, which means the offense that he's running does not fit him 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the coach needs to change the offense to adapt to the quarterback.
Exactly.
If this is going to be your guy,
hold on a second. Let me ask you. Here's what I don't think you all understand. What's the difference in a read in him running the spread offense versus it running in an I formation? What's the difference? Tell me.
Because I can tell you right now.
Hold on. I'm being serious. What's the difference?
You want to answer? I'm gonna go ahead and answer that.
No,
now
go ahead.
Now hold up. I'll let y'all talk. Don't step on my toes right now. Let me cook for a second, please. Thank you. Now, what I'm saying is this: we were in a situation where you got a guy that was used to using his legs in college as well. When have we been able to really see him use his legs? I guarantee you, Dave Ragone has pretty much, him and Arthur Smith is not trying to let that kid use his legs like that. Now, we already know that that's true because you had a quarterback like Randall Cunningham that was in an offense where he used his legs back in the day. And then you had a guy like Richie Kotite that had the Arthur Smith type of mentality to try to turn him into a stinking pocket quarterback, and he got hurt. You got to let Ritter move the pocket around, do what he does best. When did we really see him move the pocket around today to get him to a spot where he could actually get it? Because
the whole first half, they had
one drive.
Yeah, but one drive. But let's be real. When he did start to roll out, if you notice, the play calling was designed where he was rolling out to the weak side and he had nobody in front of him, and he got met with 2 Washington Commanders on that last drive where he got sacked, where he broke out. So all I'm saying is this. You're saying that. I get it. But let's be real. Arthur Smith did not have to have a quarterback that was developed because let's be real. Ryan Tannehill was already a veteran and already had his stuff together when Arthur Smith came in there. And you had a heck of a running back behind him, you know, with the human tractor. Let's just be real. We don't have that in the backfield. We got a great running back, but he definitely is nothing like what he had in Tennessee. And then let's just be real. When we started running the ball, the counter was there. You called it earlier. The counter was there. They did not run the counter when they had the personnel to do so. They went away from it. And when they started running the counter, they were successful in getting into the red zone. So the issue is not this personnel at this point. We're talking about the people that's up at the top, the person that's got the mustache, the Tom Selleck mustache with the attitude and the ego, the spoiled child. So I'm gonna Ritter's gonna get his blame. But when do we start putting the blame on that spoiled rich kid that's calling plays for Atlanta that didn't have to grind as hard as a lot of other folks had to get up the tree? And you pretty much saw Eric Bieniemy out-coached him today. Yeah. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Y'all can disagree
when
with me.
Desmond Ritter is
the enemy should have been the guy that should have been hired, and they proved that today.
When Desmond Ritter is on the move, he's a much more relaxed quarterback. The game slows down for him. He makes better reads. He is not a guy that you just bring back and sit back in the pocket and expect him to read 1, 2, 3, 4 all game long. It's not. The game is going too fast for his brain to process. The reason why somebody like what's the young man with the 49ers, even though they lost today, played so well, is right because the way his mind allows him to process. And even with that, you look at how they run him. They do a lot of rollout with him. They don't always have him sitting in one spot. You move the pocket, you move the point, and you go high, low. And with what he got, once again, all of his balls need to be up in the air, letting him streets go get it. And besides, this is a league now you can't hit a defenseless guy like that anymore. So why don't you use the height and put it in the middle of the field and give your boys chances with 50-50 ball? You'll get a lot of more pass interference plays. You'll be able to keep him relaxed, and the game will slow down for the kid. But you got Arthur Smith, who's only knows how to coach the offense that he learned, and he's trying to make everybody knows what he knows instead of trying to figure out what can I learn to get these guys in the best position to make them do. When that kid is on the move, he plays better. Yeah, it's okay to throw the ball from the pocket sometime, but you got to move that thing around. What happened to the screen game today?
They tried it twice and it didn't work.
Let's be real. Besides them trying it, now you just mentioned something just now, and I'm gonna put this point out because I want Graybeard to cook on this one. Let's be real. Who is his mentor? Joe Gibbs, right? That was his original mentor who taught him and brought him in. You got a Desmond Ritter that's as close to a Joe Theismann as you can get. And yes, I said it because he's got the ability to run and throw. I just pray to God that he doesn't break his leg like Joe Theismann did. But let's be real. Joe came to becoming an MVP because guess what? Joe Gibbs figured out, okay, I can run the ball with counter, pretty much 40 chip and these different kinds of formations. But guess what? I got a quarterback who can roll out, who can throw the ball, who can run, and he had tall receivers, minus Charlie Brown and Alvin Garrett. All his receivers were over 6 feet that he had during that time when Theismann was lighting up the league. A lot of people don't like him, but let's be real. Desmond Ritter is the closest thing you're going to get to a Joe Theismann in this offense. The difference is he's a little faster, and Theismann had a better arm. That's it. Other than that, let's talk about it. Glenn, What did you pick up from when it comes to Arthur Smith and just the play management? You go from having this thing looking like a well-oiled machine to where it look clunky as a lemon coming off of the junkyard. Just be real.
He needed gas whoop. So here's my thing. First of all, hey, how everybody doing? When we look at the game last week and the game this week, we had 2 drives that simulated what they did last week, having multiple looks, moving the pocket around, and letting Desmond Ritter throw off the ball. We didn't do that this game. We win it. I mean, it didn't make no sense to me why we keep being aggressive going in 4th down. Kick the ball, let the defense do their thing, and let's get the ball back. We were on their side of the 50. I never would have went for that. 2-point conversion. What the hell are you doing? Kick the ball. I mean, Austin Smith and his goddamn pride, man, got to go. Now, granted, Desmond Ritter does deserve some of the blame. Yes, he was staring down wide receiver. He was not looking them off and reading through his progression. And I get that. But Dave Ragone and Arthur Smith, man, with the night and day play calling and scheme, it freaking infuriated me because we looked like freaking world beaters last week. The offense was smooth. Even though we were playing behind, we were still moving the ball. Then we get to this week, and it's like we forgot everything that we did last week. So I'm just trying to understand. I understand that B. John Robinson is the new toy that we got, and we want him to be the featured back. But god damn it, freaking Tyler Algier just rushed for 1,000 yards last week, and we make him look like he's the 3rd running back on the depth chart. So tell me what's going on.
Well, we got our country cousins in the back that's paying attention. They said we look like world beaters on the first drive, and what did they change? They went away from rolling that pocket around. That's what they did.
Hey,
That's because
Glenn.
he ran a play. That's because he ran a play script the first drive.
Glenn, the play calling, is gonna be suspect when you ain't running the ball the way you want to run the ball.
Agreed. I agree with that. But still,
But you saw the tight ends. But you saw the tight ends were eating though. Let's be real. You knew that they were going to be. You knew they were going to sell out for the run. You had John.
I'm not taking everything off just on Ritter. A lot of this is on Smith too. But what I'm getting at, I've told y'all for 2 weeks. Every time we put Keith Smith in at fullback, and what do you see immediately? What do you see? Another guy down in the box, and we struggle running the football. Deron Payne was eating our lunch today, right there.
Yes,
we could not
get
it. Sweat was eating our outside zone up. We couldn't do anything. We finally went to 11 personnel, and guess what started happening? We started moving the football around, and we started going play to your numbers right there. And we get down inside the goal line. The time then where we threw the pick 6 down there on 3rd down or the 2nd down. What does he do? He brings Keith Smith in the game, and guess what everybody does? Boom. That's you being bullheaded and saying my 11 are better than your 11, but I'm not going to use my quarterback's legs, so we're actually playing 10 against 11. That's putting you in a bad spot right there.
And so here's the other problem, and I want Killian to talk about this one, and then I'm gonna slide this one down to my guy Demond. Killian. So again, I'm sorry, Coach Cam. I literally, because I saw him jump in there. You know what, Coach Cam? Take this one, man. Take this take right here. Let's talk about the fact that we weren't able to run the ball because they were geared towards stopping the run. Jack Del Rio is a former linebacker who definitely understands how to stop the run. While he was in Jacksonville, he had one of the best linebacking corps and defensive line units while he was there. How do you feel they were able to take this run game away from us today?
Well, Jack Rio has been known to be one of the best defensive coordinators in the league since he's been in the NFL. He's had some of the greatest. He's had some of the greatest run-stopping defenses. We can go to the Giants. We can go to the Jags when they was in Saxonville.
Denver.
2000 Ravens.
The Ravens too. So I mean, if you look at his defense, it doesn't change very much. The one thing that me and Coach Brandt that we do agree on is Keith Smith is a liability to this offense. I've said it once. I'll say it again. I'll say it tomorrow.
I agree with you.
Take
That fullback
take
got to go.
take that man, take him out. Like I respect it. Like if you're gonna go power I or something like that, then you bring in Q Smith on the goal line or something like that. But overall, you have to remove him because now that's one less defender that they got to put out there. That's one more man they can put in the box. It makes it that much harder for Desmond Ridder to get his reads off because you got one person coming directly in your face. And one thing that Coach McGriff brought up is why are we sending in 3 calls to a guy who's only played 10 official games? There's absolutely no I'm sorry, I think that was Damon who said that. Why are we sending in 3 plays and letting our 10 game quarterback make a decision on what he sees? As of right now, we know he's not reading the defenses the way that a 3, 4, 5 year vet would. But with Del Rio, he pretty much played a spy, and he sent more linebacker blitzes than I've seen any other coach send on us since last season. And we overloaded one side of the field. If you look at it, the play where he threw the interception in the end zone, they overloaded that right side of the field, and 2 linebackers came untouched. There was not enough people out there to defend. So there's things where Desmond has to see that, check out of it or something. And again, me and Coach Brent agree on that. Like, he should have checked out of that. But again, at the same time, Arthur Smith is one of them coaches that doesn't give him the authority to do so. And I feel it's almost like watching Matt Ryan with Mike Smith. When he runs the hurry up, Matt Ryan looked amazing. When you force Matt Ryan to think too much, he becomes a deer in headlights. It's hard for him to see, okay, I can't see the trees I can't see nothing. And Desmond does the same exact thing. When you force him to think, he's going to have those turnovers. He's going to look bad. If you make it simple for him and dumb it down and let him have 1 look or 2 looks at the most, just let him play football. Let him do
Do you
what he
want
does
to? Do you
best.
want to know what would help Desmond Ridder more than anything in the world?
Please
I'm
explain.
being 100% serious. If we had a veteran center in there that could make those calls for him,
Agreed.
and look at him, and all this nonsense would go away because it's really simple. I mean, I know you all could do this. You could walk up. There's 11 people on the field on one side. You count. They're going to be on one side or the other. Do I have 6 to this side, or do I have 5? That's what I'm saying.
That's
Coach,
what
I got one. Coach, I got one for you now. You
high
talk
school quarterbacks. Count the numbers in the box.
Exactly. It's simple. Go
now,
run away
hold on,
from it,
man.
or
You
run
guys
up the
are,
bubble, and you're good.
now you guys are speaking on that. Let's talk about this. Now you pointed out something, and I'm gonna bring Damon on this one, and I want K-Dub to jump on this. Now, I've said this in the offseason. The problem is we don't have a legit center. Drew Dahlman is not that guy. Drew Dahlman is suspect. Straight cheeks, and he was getting clapped today. Drew
So is
Dahlman,
McGarry.
think about
So
it.
is McGarry.
I mean, we'll get on McGarry, but I got to get on the guy that's handling the football. I want to talk about the guy that's handling the football first. So hold off on that one for a sec. So let's talk about this. The issue is you were worried about getting whipped up front by Deron Payne, and you had a lot of bad snaps that threw off timing for Desmond Ridder. So I can't just put that all on Ridder. I got to put it on the guy that's supposed to be giving him the ball. Let's just talk about it. He got whipped up front today. Damon, you saw him getting pushed over and turned it into a MARTA train turnstile today. He literally looked like a turnstile at the West End station, literally on the 4th of July summer day.
But remember, I said, that was last week. We was talking about the center position.
Yep.
Remember, I said we need to go and address that part in free agency. Don't draft no center. We need to go get a veteran center. Because remember, I brought up, I said that soon as we got my mind went blank. What's his name from the Browns?
Alex
Mack. When we got Mack, it seems like we went to another level with Mack and Ryan back there.
Yep.
All I'm saying is this, man. I know some of that wasn't in the end zone. It was horrible, man. It was terrible, man. There's like some stuff from the backyard. You just throw it up. But I'm just upset because that's just my opinion. I don't feel, and I agree with Coach. They're not putting him in a position to be successful. And I think Desmond Ritter, the thing that's going against him is that he's in a position to where the Falcons brass is trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to win. They're not trying to develop the quarterback position.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of pressure is on him and probably Arthur Smith. You know what I'm saying? I think Arthur Smith was like, you know what, bro? Listen, my job on the line. I ain't really got time to baby walk you like you probably need to be, because like somebody pointed out up here, if you a third round pick quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
you're not a day one start. You need it's something wrong with your game that need to be fixed or worked on. And you know, and I think the Falcons did Ritter. They didn't think ahead. We should have been discussing all this last season when Ritter should have been playing 8 to 10 games last year. Then we could have been evaluating. Then you could have addressed that. But yeah, I agree with you, Ron. You need a veteran center, bro. Dawman not it, bro. He not.
Hey, Doug, wait a minute. I gotta let Killian jump on this one because I told him it was his turn next. So y'all gotta hold your horses. Go ahead, K Doug.
I mean, just to piggyback off of what Eric's saying about the center position, having a veteran back there, like you said with Alex Mack, it worked out. It helped. It really helped Matt Ryan, and it really helped Ritter. I don't understand how we have this money and we just sitting on our dang hands right now. I mean, go bring some guys in. I don't care if you exhaust and you bring in a couple centers that don't work out, but at least try that route, because right now what we're doing is not working out in our favor right now. So I just feel like we need to explore all options and stop sitting on our hands and figuring out, thinking the same something's better is going to happen, and Ritter's going to keep running into these same problems. Simplify the offense. Go back and talk to his head coach. I think he's moving on to a different school. I think he's at Wisconsin now, but still go back and figure out what worked so well for Ritter. We need to implement those 10 to 12 plays that he did very well at Cincinnati and bring that to our offense, because he needs to be caught right now. And we really don't have a lot of options behind him, because I felt like if they thought Heineke was the best option behind him, I think they would have put him in by now. So maybe in practice, he's not really looking like the Heineke that was in Washington. So it's something. All I know is wish they would get it figured out, because as a fan base, we get our hands up, and it's been too long. I mean, for us to be in the playoffs. So it's a tough sell that this quarterback keep playing up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm not trying to be on a merry-go-round, man. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to win football games. And if you're not the guy, then we need to make that decision and move forward. I mean, I understand you don't been in the league 9, 7, 8, 9 games, whatever the case may be, but you could be a career backup. That don't mean you're a starter. It's such a bad thing. I mean, sometimes people get into this league and they find out that they're not starters. I mean, and I think it's slowly starting to tell that story, because at least Matt Ryan came in and lit the league on fire and was the rookie of the year. So it's like he ended up gradually turning, over the 15-year career, he turned into a pumpkin, but it took time. You know what I'm saying? But this guy in his first year or second year is looking kind of like too up and downy, man. I'm just like something. I understand he got to develop, but I don't think he's gonna have the time to develop here. He may be developing somewhere else or whatever it may be, because we're gonna have to attack the draft in a different form and fashion and have to go select a quarterback. But at least this is a year that a lot of quarterbacks are coming out, and we have the pick of the litter with a lot of guys coming out this year.
I'm gonna say this.
Let me ask y'all something. If you had to name one word or say one word to describe Desmond Ritter, what would the word be?
Inconsistent.
Average.
Young.
I say indecisive.
Yeah, I like indecisive.
But let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this, Coach. But you get rid of indecisiveness tells me. Now, I'm not a coach. I'm a fan. So indecisive tells me that said player is not prepared. If you're indecisive.
But I'm not just talking about on reads like today. Like, save yourself. Don't throw that pick six. Call timeout. Don't rush a play for no reason. Be the leader. Call timeout.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you
I
see
mean,
that timeout? You keep bringing up that timeout. Let me ask you this. Now, before that, they was complaining about the play not coming in. No, excuse me. He spikes the ball.
Yep.
They complain
I'm
about.
I'm talking about down where he threw the pick six in the interception in the end zone when the play was going down.
Right before that, right? They they spiked the ball. We come out the top. Well, we
didn't spike it that way.
Out, and you got to use a timeout. Who is that on? Shouldn't he already know the play when he going back on the field? What are we waiting on?
Well, I can tell you this.
This goes back to the coach not having a clear game plan of how he's going to attack the defense. If you said he had that script, and then the whole purpose of the script is to know what will obviously work and what may or may not work. You know, after you run the script, this is what's going to work. We can call this at any point in time in the game and guarantee ourselves a certain amount of yards, 2 to 3 yards. You know what I mean? So after your script is done, because the defense is going to make their adjustments. What do you live and die on? What do you know you can work on that will work for your quarterback? The reason why his kid is consistent because they haven't identified what he worked on, what he was, and all his career, going back to all his college. But what he know he's going to be able to comfortably execute. If that means he can comfortably execute passes where he's on the run and gets 2 reads, then you run that in critical situations where he gets 2 reads. Because you got to take into account, okay, there's a false start. Okay, if we push behind, then when we get trouble and behind the chains, what's he's gonna run that's not gonna put the offense in danger of getting a quick turnover, where he's panicking and he's like deer in the headlights and he's indecisive. Finding things that get him out of trouble when something goes bad, a holding penalty, something that's out of his control. My whole point is Arthur Smith is not helping this young man because Arthur Smith doesn't understand offense outside of what he's
been given.
Exactly.
Right.
Good point.
He's only been an OC for 5 years. Let's be honest about it. He's only been a legit offensive coordinator for 5 years. 2 years in Tennessee, 3 years here. He doesn't really have the experience at all. So he's not able to look at a defense that's out there and say, okay, let me out-of-order this. He doesn't have that experience. So now we're telling a 2-year player, a 3rd-round pick, to make the same decisions the head coach / offensive coordinator is supposed to be making, but we're dumping on him, but we're giving an okay to the head coach.
No, I never. Wait a minute. I never gave a look. I've been getting on the head coach. Cam, but you know I've been getting on the head coach since day one. You know I've been getting on Arthur Smith since day one. I ain't cut him no slack. I've been literally lashing on him just like stripes on the Tigers behind. I've been on him since day one, and I'm gonna stay on him too. I'm gonna keep my foot right between his hip pockets. And I'll say this because, like Demond was saying, it comes from the top spot. Let's just be real. If Arthur Smith get fired, I'm gonna tell you like this. I get that gentleman that was on the other side today was an offensive coordinator. Guess what? Give him a shot. You give that man a shot. That man comes with a resume and comes with a multiple time MVP that he coached with 3 Super Bowl appearances and 2 rings. And he can develop a quarterback. Point blank, period. He can develop a quarterback. All I'm saying is this.
I don't
You
think
got to put some things in perspective. William, what's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas? You hear me?
So what you got for us, man? Because I see you at the JOB. I don't want you to lose your job.
Yeah, no, man. I'm going to say this is what I got to say, fellas. This is what I got to say moving forward, man. You mean telling me we spent all this money in free agency? You was talking about you want to be plus 20, hyping the media up, leaving this fan base. We want to win 20 games and plus. But what have you do lately, Arthur Smith? Last year we had a better season, but I'm not trying to put Marcus Mariota in this picture. But we were successful running the ball and having Marcus Mariota running the ball. This is what Desmond Ritter didn't cause successful. I'm looking at six, y'all. The man is good at read option, move him out the pocket. All these bootlegs, bullshit that he doing on third and goal, that's unacceptable, bro. And I'm blaming this on Ritter because Ritter, he had opportunities to throw the ball away or run the ball or pitch to Bijan Robinson. We didn't even trying to use Bijan Robinson like how we want to this game. We could have easily won this game. Our defense hold the tone, but moving forward, y'all guys, we cannot allow our defense keep saving us every damn game. Them boys doing their part, but it's on Arthur Smith. I just feel like if Arthur Smith can't win these games coming up, because you got Tampa, Nashville, you got down Cardinals, you got to win 5 of these games at least before bye week. You want to win these games, your ass out of here. Because Arthur Blake is not about to be waiting. We don't have time to develop a quarterback, man. I understand Ritter is not reading progressing, but run the fucking ball. You see everybody playing man to man. You see that? You run it. You don't stay in there and be waiting till the receiver get open. No, that's not your job. Your job as a QB to read the field and see what the safety's at and see what everybody's on the field doing. That's unacceptable, man. That's all I gotta say, man.
William, we don't mind you dropping the A word or the D word every once in a while. You can't be dropping the F word on here, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
I like the passion, but I gotta make sure I put that out there, fam. But we do got to watch it, so I gotta be fair all the way across the board. But no, I
apologize. It's a Sunday. I would be at that Tampa game. But this is my last call moving forward, fellas. I think we need to go ahead and move from David Ragoon. Whoever plays Arthur Smith, he's trying to be too cute. I mean, I understand we had this game, y'all. Our defense gave us the ball 3 times. We could have scored a 30 on them. Easy 30. Well, you going for 4th and 3rd. Then you going for 2 extra points. You being greedy. Just kick the field goal. It's too early in the game. Why would you go for 4th and 3rd? And it's still time before halftime. You shouldn't be trying to kick the field goal. What are you doing?
Common sense ain't so common when it comes amongst some people. And I say this here. This is what happens when you get the spoiled rich man's mentality or whatnot. You think you can just say whatever and do whatever, but you got to understand, man, you can't do that. You got to grind just like everybody else got to grind. This ain't Tennessee. You in Atlanta. Let's just be real. We don't have a culture that suits us for winning. This is why fans are impatient right now. We've won games, but we have no culture and no identity. You're trying to make the defense a staple, which I think is great because defense has literally been good all year. I have no problem with the defense. The only guy that's on the defense that's got to go is Richie
Grant.
Richie Grant got to go. And I'm getting ready to roast him right now. So, like I said, he's already seasoned. He's already been resting. Now it's time to put him in the oven, and I'm about to roast him right now. Let's get to it. Richie Grant has to be better, period. And I don't think he's ever going to get better. Let's just be real.
That dude can't cover tight end or running back. I'm sorry to cut you off.
You can't cover him.
It's right. Because here's the thing. Richie Grant had a chance to cover across the middle. They dropped him down into the area where they were doing it. DeMarco Hellams had packages where he was sitting over top. Now, Richie was one-on-one today, and Richie could not cover a wet blanket if he had it glued to his backside in Alaska trying to catch a cold. He definitely didn't do that today. Because if you looked at it, Terry McLaurin was picking on him. He was also picking on A.J. Terrell today. Terrell had a few blunders, but he made up for it, though. But Richie Grant was cooked all game by all those Washington players, from the tight ends to the running backs and the receivers. When are you gonna realize that this dude ain't it? He got to go. I know you vouch for him, Scoop, but guess what? After that performance there, and it's been consistent since he's been in Atlanta, he got no.
You got it today.
And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna apologize to you because we saw what Pitts could possibly do if they actually used him right. I'm gonna give you that. And I'm man enough to say I was wrong. But at the same time, I got to see it consistent before we can dub him a unicorn. I'm sorry, I ain't dubbing him a unicorn.
Richie Grant is the only DB I've ever seen in the NFL play that didn't have no arms. Because he ain't ever wrapped nobody up.
Shut up.
Never. Not one time. Not one time.
Richie Grant is as harmless as a box of newborn kittens.
Hey, you see that video they got about him going on Twitter, man? It ain't fair, but they got him. He getting blocked, and what's his name? That big running back from the Commanders come through.
Yeah, but Brian Robinson,
Brian Robinson
but
built like that.
But here's the thing: Brian Robinson been built like that since he was at Alabama. Now
Same.
we all said
that's why I say I know it ain't
Yeah,
fair.
but-
That he was being blocked, but it was still funny, man. That y'all.
But
brought
just,
up Brian.
but Demond, you're a dog fan too. Let's be real. We all said Brian Robinson was not a good college running back. We all knew he had talent, but he just didn't fit what they did at Alabama like Jahmyr Gibbs did. But I'll tell you the straight up truth. He went into the right system, and you see how they using him, and you see what you're getting out of that dude. That
I'd like
dude
to
gets
have him on
stronger
our
as the
team.
game
I can
goes
tell you
on.
that.
Say
That
what?
dude can play.
But-
I said I'd like to have him on our team. That dude can play.
You got to keep it real though, man. You know when it comes to pro sports, man, and you get these draft picks, especially these highly draft picks. You know, at the end of the day, it really does matter what system
Oh,
you go to,
man.
man.
I'm sorry. We laughing, bro, because you see what we laughing at, right?
Yeah, I said that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Dang,
Come on,
keep going, bro. I'm
Arcadius, bro.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm
Okay.
just agreeing with you, man.
Come on, bro.
I'm just agreeing about the running back, man. You know, it really depends. Your career really depends on like what team, what system you go to. Like, who knows what Ritter could be doing if he went to whatever system that fit him. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
If he was in San Francisco right now, he'd be cooking. I ain't gonna even sit there and hold you.
hey,
Or
But-
even, and I'm gonna give
He
you another
wouldn't beat
team.
Brock Purdy out.
Kyle
I put
Shanahan,
this way.
man. And you can people hate. Hey, they hate on Kyle, but that dude make quarterbacks, man.
I give you a team. I give you a team he would succeed on very well. Everybody might laugh and say I'm crazy for saying this. I can see him starting and being a baller with the Jets because of all the weapons they got and the way that they call their offense. Zach Wilson just ain't it. But you put him in that offense where they move the pocket. They move the pocket up there in New York. He'll be dangerous.
That offensive coordinator was our quality control
Yes, he
coach
was,
in
Mike.
2016.
Why do
let
you
it
think?
go.
Why do you think I said that? That was the reason I said that because you would have a guy that's got great mobility, and here's the thing: he's used to playing in the cold anyway because he's from Kentucky and played in Cincinnati, so he'd be right back at home. And it's just like, all right, we're looking at him now like, dang, it's sad that Arthur Smith, his ego and his pride is gonna cost us having all this talent. Let's just be real. You know, you drafted 3 guys that were offensive players in the first round. You have not used them properly.
I mean,
He's gonna wind up getting fired, and then the next coach is gonna have a stacked roster. Is what's gonna happen.
yeah. I mean,
That-
for me,
I can already see it.
for me, it's like this. We had Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, and a quality coach got all on our coaching staff, and we didn't give them a bother to look at them as being our head coach. That's number one.
We
Number
didn't
two,
have McVay.
I thought we did have Sean McVay.
No, we didn't.
McFleur.
Oh,
We
we
had
had Matt.
LaFleur.
Okay, we had Matt LaFleur. We didn't give him a shot. We had Kyle
The-
Shanahan.
We had
didn't
old
give
buddy
him-
too. We had the head coach from Miami was on our staff.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We had
The
all.
day that Kyle Shanahan was announced he was going to San Francisco,
I already knew.
Dan Quinn should have walked in and looked at Matt LaFleur and not even asked him.
about
He
it.
should have said, "You're my offensive coordinator." There
Exactly.
shouldn't
Well,
even
you know
been.
which way he went.
That would have been the conversation. You are
Well,
my
look.
offensive coordinator.
Well, we know which way he went or whatever. He ended up going the way of trying to save his buddy's life, who was a drunk. But we'll say
understand.
that we'll save that for another time. But
I got a
you
question. I
already
got
know
one
what it
question.
is.
I got one question. Should Desmond Ritter throw 40 times a game?
No,
Never.
no,
Never.
no.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and say this because we gotta wrap up now because it's a little past the hour because we only try to do an hour now. But let's just call it for what it is. You ain't gonna throw with him 40 times a game. It's not gonna work. It ain't gonna work. But we got coming up next week. We're gonna be talking about this matchup with Tampa Bay. I want to thank everybody for coming into the Benediction. This thing has sucked today. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm about ready to go over here and have me as my man Morris Day would say, I got to have me a drink. If you ever seen Purple Rain and you know the scene where he said, I need a drink. That's what I'm feeling like right now.
I got a bottle of Crown on deck right now.
Hey, well, hey, y'all boys be easy. We want to thank y'all for coming in. We, like I said, we had this thing open for an hour. Everybody's starting to try to come in now, but it's like, hey, man, we try to get people in and out, but folks weren't coming through at that time. So we'll definitely see you guys next week. Check out. Hopefully next week we'll have the party line versus the Bucks, but check us out this week on the Birdcage. But we also have a special interview coming in this week. We got a former Falcon that's going to be coming through on the 18th. Y'all stay tuned to that. So until then, we're going to say our prayers, have our drinks or whatever, and have a little bit of manna. You know, pray to the Lord, donate in the collection plate, and we going to call it for what it is, man. This is the benediction. Y'all be blessed.